It's Rick and RJ from Keeping It Real. Today we're going to be talking about minimalism. Are you flexing right now?
I just got this wicked tan, and look at the lighting on that.
You know what he has? Minimal body fat right now.
That is correct.
Minimal
you know
body
how much
fat.
weight I lost? 10 pounds.
Oh, I didn't think.
Oh, sorry. I didn't think I had 10 pounds to lose.
Yeah, no shit. That's crazy.
I went to my doctor, right? Yeah. And we were doing my blood work. I get my blood work done frequently.
Yeah.
And he asked me, did you notice any weight loss? And I said, I don't know. Let's weigh myself, right? So I was down 10 pounds. I said, why? Busting balls, right? I was like, oh, I'm losing weight, Marvin. What's going on? He's like, oh, I don't know. He was starting to get scared.
Blood work. Let's do blood work.
And speaking of tan, right? So I have this, I don't know if you can see it or not.
Spray tan?
Let me get the shirt off here. Okay, so.
Any reason to take his shirt off, this guy, just so you know, everybody watching at home.
Sorry. Anyways, I had this little sticker thing on my shoulder, and so she spray tanned me, and I guess she didn't want to tell me that it was on there. I forgot it was on my neck, right? So we use this thing for pain, and I put it on my neck.
Oh, I see.
And I don't know, like maybe she just was ashamed to like, hey, is this supposed to be on here? Like, just ask somebody. Like, remember we talked about like just ask.
I know. Just
ask me, because now I got this weird thing on me. So I go to Marvin. I go, hey Marvin. Dude, I've been getting this weird discoloration. So he's looking at it. He's like, oh, my God, what is that? Right? And I was like, I don't know, man. What is that? He's like, oh, I think it's a fungal. He's like, I got a cream for that. Don't worry. I busted his balls because he's so serious, right?
Yeah.
I busted his balls in 2 conversations. Anyways, back to minimalism.
That's actually hard. It's hard to bust the balls of serious guys.
Oh, I love it.
You know,
it's the best.
But it's fun because you want to find that spot where
and
they're
even
like,
if they don't laugh, you're laughing.
And it's one of those guys, they register later. It's not an immediate register.
Exactly.
That's one thing. There's 2 different guys for ball busting. The one who immediately get it and laugh, and then the other one that processes, and like a day later they're like, that was a good one.
That was a good one.
That was a good one. Yeah.
Like, you ever watch Seinfeld? You ever watch Seinfeld, that episode where George gets roasted about eating the shrimp?
Well, let me just put a monitor in the skybox.
Hey, George, the ocean called. They're running out of shrimp.
The ocean called. Running out of shrimp. Oh! Yes! That's what I should have said! Damn it! Another meeting with Riley. Whole new audience, and I bet I can get him to try that line again.
Who's Riley?
George was scarfing shrimp at this meeting, and this guy says, hey, George, the ocean called. They're running out of shrimp.
Listen to the comeback. Oh, yeah? Well, the jerk store called. They're running out of you. Well, you gotta be kidding me.
Hey, the ocean called. They want the shrimp back or something.
Okay.
And it took them a week to come up with it. And then they're like, really? Like, it's been a week, George.
Yeah. I don't remember that.
But it festered with him for a full week, and he was trying to come up with the best comeback line.
Okay.
And it was terrible.
Yeah.
Anyways, minimalism.
Minimalism. Let's talk about minimalism. I'm going to tell you why I want to talk about minimalism today is because that was the #1 thing that I implemented into my life to become I'm not going to say rich, but I'm going to say weller off. Yeah. Okay, weller off, I guess. Weller.
Can we get a definition on that? That word, Jerome? Weller.
I'm not going to say I'm well off yet, but I'm on my way to being well off. So we'll just say I'm weller off.
Better. You're better.
Yeah. Well. Yeah. Anyways. So I got 12 points, RJ, that I want to talk about, and the first one is going to be, or we're going to discuss ways to live.
How do you come up with these points, Rick? You always have a million points for everything.
That's just how my brain works.
Just point at it, point after point after point. There's no story, just a point.
The point.
Okay.
10 things, 12 things, 25 things, to fill in the blank, right?
Got it.
So anyways, traveling.
Okay.
World is opening back up.
Yeah.
You and I have traveled together.
Yes.
I can tell you that every time I go on a vacation, I usually come back with, if I say I'm going to spend $1,000, I come back with $800.
Yeah.
Prior to that, if I went to for the minimalist lifestyle, I would spend more money. Not only will I spend the cash, I would also spend on the visa.
You'd also find, when we'd travel, we'd bring that money. So if I was like $500 spending money, I would honestly, at the end, I would just be getting rid of the money. Yeah, looking to spend it, buy some knickknacks or whatever.
Yeah, see, I don't do that.
I remember I used to travel and I used to bring back people things.
I know, isn't that so why do we do that?
I don't know.
Why do we have it in our head that we need to bring back gifts for everybody
that they don't even like?
Yeah, it's knickknack. Everybody knows you spent $1 on some bullshit.
Yeah.
Wait, thanks. Thank you for doing that for me.
And then you never see them wear it. And the best thing you can do is, hey, where's those earrings I got you?
Yeah, exactly. And then they're selling it in the garage sale for 10 cents next year.
Yeah.
A complete and absolute insult.
Yeah.
Anyways, some of the things that I implement when I travel, and this is something that I would suggest everybody do, is live like a local.
Yeah.
Right. Have you ever gone somewhere and went down into, let's say, their not necessarily their downtown, but their most local neighborhood?
Yeah.
Right. Have you ever eaten off of a cart? Have you ever gone off the tourist strip and then hung out with the dudes just eating on plastic chairs?
Of course. Yeah, dude. It's the best way. It's
It is the
authentic.
best way.
But sometimes you actually pay more. So, for instance, in Bali, that's what we did.
Oh, yeah?
And it was honestly cheaper to go and eat on the strip just because of competition than it was to eat off of the strip. So when you go down into the jungle, there might only be one restaurant there. So they can charge whatever they want. It's like getting gas up north. You know what I mean? Like the further away you drive from Winnipeg, all of a sudden the gas goes up, right?
Yeah.
And so, I like the competition and the higher end ones, usually like the Walmarts, right? So they might not be a Walmart, but they've got more buying power. So oftentimes it's actually cheaper to go on the strip. So I do actually price compare.
Yeah.
And when I find a restaurant, so I like to walk into a place. This is the worst thing I hate. Okay. So you go to a mall, right? And they're like, everything on sale. And then you look at the small print. Most things are on sale, right? Or 50% off when you buy 20 items, right?
Marketing.
I don't even walk in because I'm like, that's garbage. I don't want to buy one, get one 50. I just want 50.
Yeah.
Right. So I won't even bother going in. And so, that's the joys of the higher buying. I forgot where I was going.
You know what?
Edit that out.
That's your No, keep that because that's your minimalist mindset.
Yeah.
Right? Whereas previous to that, you would have been like, oh, that's such a great deal. I buy one, I get 150%. But you're past that. You're smarter than that now. And all of us should be smarter than that. And just say enough with your marketing rules. Just give me the best price right off the bat. Right.
Exactly.
Yeah. But getting back to your topic of price comparison when it comes to traveling. Yes, you're probably going to pay more, especially if you're on a tourist path. And what I mean is, let's say that there's some tourist destination. The tourists got to go down this road. So yeah, they're going to nail you, right? But last time, or I don't know, maybe it was 2 times ago when I was in Mexico, we went off the Fifth Avenue, which was in Tulum, Cancun. I can't remember which one it is. And it was literally like maybe 3 blocks, but the whole environment changed. It went from everything fancy, touristy people to straight local people. And this guy had a cart, and it was, like it looked like him and his family been using it for the last 50 years. The best tacos I had, super pleasant dude. Him and I had to write and use calculators in order to communicate because he couldn't speak English. Yeah. But it cost me literally 75 cents for a full taco. Yeah. And then a can of Coke was, I think, maybe $1 US. So I feel like I got great value right there.
Yeah. Okay. So my point was, when I find a place that takes care of me at the right price, so you don't have to be the cheapest, you just can't be the most expensive. And if you can find a way to flatline that curve, I'll always